Hey what's up guys, the Widget Striker here, and today I'm doing another coaster fight, and this coaster fight is going to be between Xcelerator from Knott's Berry Farm and another one of NH's coasters called, sorry if I can't pronounce this right, Renegade. That's what I'm going to pronounce it as. And yeah, we're doing the same 12 categories as the last coaster fights I've done. If you haven't checked them out, my other two coaster fights was one of Creeper Jackson's coasters versus Steel Vengeance, and then the other one was NH's coaster versus Rougarou. So the 12 categories we have is height, speed, duration, bars, waiting line, lighting, loading station, theming, logo, lag, scenery, and the two new ones that we have is exit and layout, and then the last one is overall experience. So yeah, we'll base some off of all these stats, and we'll see which one has the most points in the end, and whichever one has the most points in the end will win the coaster fight. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin this coaster fight. First, we have the height category. Now, how we figure out the height category is pretty much all we do is we find out how tall the blocks are, which we go into F3 here, and then we check out how tall it is. So it's 45 blocks tall. So we divide that number by the tallest ride now in the world, which was 172 blocks tall, which is Top-Fuel Dragster Reborn. And then we get a result of 2.6 out of 10. And then for Renegade, his tallest point was around 70-something blocks tall. And when I divided that number, it was a 4.3 out of 10. And the tallest point was 74 blocks tall. So yeah, Xcelerator doesn't do as good in this round, but Renegade gets more points this round. Next, we have the speed category, and Xcelerator is going to get a little more points this round, but the reason why Renegade has a 9 for its speed, like, it does keep a pretty good consistently speed throughout the whole ride, but the only thing I don't really like about it is the uphill. It just kind of makes the speed look weird. You can't really, like, tell if it's going fast or slow, so it's kind of like, in some parts of it, it doesn't really feel like it's going as fast as it should be, so definitely the uphill is going to be the reason why it is 9 out of 10. And Xcelerator is going to get a 9.5 out of 10. It was really close to a 10 out of 10. The reason why it's not a 10 out of 10 is because I guess if you're going to count one part as like a kind of slowing down is the like uphill here, but the reason why like I'm not counting this part for slowing down because it kind of has to slow down so I can get to the station. Okay, so that kind of like doesn't really matter. The only like part that slows it down on purpose is this part right here, but I guess people are gonna complain to me in the comments below, like, why would you give it a 10 out of 10 if it slows down there? So that's why I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10, but it should have gotten a 10 out of 10, but I'm just gonna give it a 0.95 out of 10. So Xcelerator just barely wins this category.
Next, we have the duration category.
And how we find out the duration category? We find out the times for Xcelerator and Renegade. And in the end, Renegade had 1 minute and 27 seconds. And then Xcelerator had only 53 seconds. And what we do is we divide 1.27 out of 12 because 12-minute long coaster, which is Mega Evolution. And we get results for Renegade 1.1 out of 10, and then we divide 0.53 for Xcelerator, and then we get a 0.4 out of 10. So like both of these don't really get great scores usually, but still Renegade gets more points than Xcelerator this round, so Renegade wins the duration category. Next, we have the bar category, and Renegade did really well in the bar category. NH has done like a decently cool bars that I've never really have done before. He even does like these little anvils at the top of them. He does a nice Top-Fuel Dragster bar set here. Cool sets of bars here. Yeah, definitely a lot of really cool sets of bars around the track in general. So definitely a bar category is getting a 10 out of 10. For Renegade. But if we go to Xcelerator also has a really good set of bars. I really like the bars for down there, this whole lift, this whole like uphill area bars, and the curve around bars look really cool. Even like some of these down bars like kind of fit well in those areas. The only reason why it's not a 10 out of 10 because like the down bars are like kind of like make it lose 1 point or 2 points. So I couldn't really decide if I lose 1 or 2 points, so I just kind of decided just to lose 1.5 points because that's halfway between 8 and 9, so yeah. That's why it has an 8.5 out of 10 for its score, and yeah. So Renegade wins this category, but Xcelerator wasn't too far behind. Next we have the waiting line category, and for Xcelerator, recently I actually extended the waiting line a little bit because I just thought it was like really small, so I guess I made it a little bit bigger, but it wasn't like much an improvement though because it was kind of hard to make it much more waiting line. So this is what I kind of did to it, and sorry for background noises, and yeah, I would have still not really like the best, so I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10 for waiting line, but NH kind of has, my bad. NH kind of has a decent waiting line. I mean, it's not like not much better than my waiting line, but I'll give it a 1 more point because like I kind of like how he had like the lamps everywhere, made it look cool, and he even has like a cool staircase leading up to it. So yeah, NH is getting 4 out of 10. Not really that much more points, but NH gets more points for the waiting line category. Next we have the exit category, and usually like I'm not really gonna give like much points for exit category because obviously NH did not really do that well with his exit, but I guess he had a decent stairway, then he added a little stone thing. But the only my only problem like for the exit is that he could have maybe like extended it a lot more and maybe made it close to the entrance. Then maybe I would have gave him more points, but no, he didn't. So I'm just gonna give him 3 out of 10. And Xcelerator has a pretty bad exit. Like it doesn't really lead anywhere. It just staircase down. That's your exit. Not really that much. So definitely Xcelerator is only getting a 1 out of 10 for exit category. Next we have the lighting category, and oh boy, Xcelerator, you definitely know what score Xcelerator is getting. A freaking 10 out of 10. Amazing lighting, illuminates at night, the bars ever illuminate at night, the track illuminates at night, even the loading station illuminates at night, the logo illuminates at night, even the pathways to get to Xcelerator illuminates at night. Loading station, Xcelerator, yeah, everything about Xcelerator just illuminates at night. Definitely a perfect 10 out of 10. But if we go to Mr. Renegade, whatever it's called, coaster that NH made, you can definitely tell NH kind of forgot to put some torches in some spots, because look at really dark in these spots. Some spots of this uphill are dark. Even like some of the curve overs are dark, like completely dark there, completely dark up there, completely dark over there around. Even like some parts of the loading station are dark. The exit is dark. Yeah, definitely there's some not really too good lit up spots. So even, like it's still pretty decently lit up, so I'm gonna give NH a 6 out of 10 for lighting, but he definitely could have done better with lighting. Next we have the loading station category, and both loading stations for both rides look pretty cool. I really like NH's loading station. It's definitely unique from other loading stations that I've made. Pretty cool rooftop, pretty decently lit up. I mean, some parts could still be lit up, as I said from the other category. Even the inside looks pretty decent. I don't like how there's nothing really at the bottom there, but still looks pretty good. Even like the entranceways to the loading station look pretty cool, and the lighting, and some of the walls and the glass at the side, yeah. NH made a pretty good loading station, so I give him a 6 out of 10. And I'm also giving Xcelerator's loading station a 6 out of 10 because it looks pretty cool too. Like, nice waiting line. You got the redstone attached to like the launching system. You got the sea lanterns at the top, which look pretty cool. Then you got these things that kind of extend out with the iron bars in them and illuminates at night. You got the sea lanterns at the side illuminating it as well. Definitely a pretty cool loading station. Even like the staircases up to it look pretty decent. So yeah, I'll give the Xcelerator's loading station a 6 out of 10 as well. So they are tied this round. Next we have the theming category, and Xcelerator actually gets 4 out of 10 for this category. You're probably wondering like, Luigi, there's no possible way you can think Xcelerator has theming. Well, I took a while to think about it if this ride actually has theming, and I was thinking about the name Xcelerator. And this ride is a launching ride, and it accelerates you up the lift hill, and it accelerates you around the curves, around the other curve, and then back into the station. Even like accelerates you out of the loading station as well. So like the name Xcelerator does fit the ride. So that's also kind of like theming. the name kind of like themes after the ride. So that's why I'm giving Xcelerator a 4 out of 10 for theming, and obviously NH, bleh, 0.5 out of 10. There's like not really any way you can tell it's just theme. It's just a ordinary really coaster. I mean, the only way I really can see how it's themed is that since it's a gray logo, I suppose, like the gray track and like kind of theme towards the gray logo, but not really good theming. 0.5 out of 10 for the theming category. So Xcelerator wins the theming category. Next, we have another category where Xcelerator is going to start gaining some points, which is the logo category. And for Renegade, the logo for Renegade is just kind of plain. It's just kind of like the same design NH did for his Rogue logo. I mean, it didn't have the line on top of it, but it still was kind of the same design with like the curved letters and the glass beneath it and the like some like kind of light source to light it up. Yeah, this logo wasn't really the greatest, but still I guess it looks kind of cool, so I gave it a 4 out of 10. I was generous with that one. I probably could have given it a 3 out of 10. But I really like Xcelerator's logo. Xcelerator's logo cool. You even made like the X red and all the letter scheme in general. Even like the T like looks pretty cool. Yeah, definitely like it. Even like is a little 3D as well. So I definitely like the Xcelerator logo much more than NH's logo. So Xcelerator's getting an 8 out of 10, and Renegade's getting a 4 out of 10, and Xcelerator wins the logo category. Next, we have the lag category. For the lag category, I'm not saying like it'll get more points if it's more laggy. I'm saying like how much it doesn't lag if it's really smooth. So when I was kind of like flying around Xcelerator, like as you can see, I'm kind of like flying around it pretty smoothly, but kind of like when we pass by the lift hill, it gets a little laggy, and sometimes when I actually go up on the, it's not really lift hill, like the launching going upwards, the height, whatever, but it's kind of like a little laggy sometimes because I feel like Ghost Rider and probably Mega Evolution make it lag a little bit. Maybe even the torches, when the torches I had to make it lag a little bit, but that's why I like it doesn't really lag that much, but it does lag in some parts. So I'm just gonna give Xcelerator an 8 out of 10. It doesn't really lag that much, but it does lag a little bit, so it's definitely gonna get a decrease of score. But if we go to NH's coaster, it is perfectly smooth, no lag I felt whatsoever riding this ride. So definitely NH is going to get a 10 out of 10 for the lag category. Next we have the scenery category, and at first NH, all he had for his logo was just the Ren and no glass around it, and he didn't have any scenery at all. So I gave him a couple of minutes like to put some scenery and maybe like make the logo look better, and he did that for the logo and the scenery. So yeah, NH's scenery is kind of just basic. Like he maybe could have added a little more trees, and he could have added like grass in there. I guess you didn't notice that, but maybe you could even added some like trees in the middle of the ride, because I think that would have made it look a little better. But still, his scenery is pretty good in general. He even has scenery around his waiting line, and I'll give it a 9 out of 10. But it could have like just like the little trees and the little bomeo could have gotten a 10 out of 10. But just I'll decrease 1 point for it. But if we go to Xcelerator also has a decent amount of scenery. Like maybe it could have used like some scenery in the middle, but in real life there's not really scenery there. But if this was Minecraft, I probably would have added a little more scenery around it, maybe like around there as well, by a little bit there. So Xcelerator is gonna lose 2 points, but not that many. So Xcelerator loses this category, but not by many points. So Renegade wins the scenery category. Next, we have the layout category, and Xcelerator kind of has a pretty cool layout. Like, you have the launch and then the up and over, and you go over and you have the nice curve around, you have a nice diagonal over, and it curves over between the uphill here, and it curves around again and goes all the way back to the station of a curve around. I mean, like, the reason why I gave it an 8 out of 10 because it's just a pretty short ride, and the design is just kind of like, I guess an ordinary design you can do for like a pretty fast launching coaster like for Xcelerator. So yeah, Xcelerator is only really gonna get an 7 out of 10 for layout category, but NH's coaster is gonna get a 9 out of 10 for its layout. Its layout is really freaking cool. You have the launch going up and over, and then you have the uphill, curve around, uphill, curve around, up, uphill and then a little curve around back to the station. But as you see, when I actually said that, it kind of just repeats what it does. So like it's not gonna get a perfect 10 out of 10 because it kind of just repeats what it does, like the up curve, and then up and another curve. So yeah, it just kind of repeats what it does, but still really cool layout. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Just decreased 1 point because it kind of repeated what it does after I went over the hill for the highest point of the ride. Then last we have the overall experience category that pretty much sums up which coaster wins the coaster fight. And let me tell you, this is the closest, I repeat, closest ever coaster fight I've ever done. And this one coaster versus Xcelerator and Renegade, one coaster that won by 0.1 points. I repeat, 0.1 points. And the coaster that lost the coaster fight would be, horrible drum roll, but Renegade! Renegade lost the coaster fight just barely. If I probably could have added 0.1 points somehow to one of the categories, then these coasters would pretty much be equally good. But I guess barely somehow Xcelerator from Knott's Berry Farm, my bad, wins the coaster fight. And how I find out the overall experience category is what I do is I add up the total numbers from each ride, and Xcelerator in the end got 76 points, and then Renegade got 75.9. What I do is I divide those numbers by 140 because that's all the categories. If you get 10 out of 10, that would equal 140 you would get. And I got in the end for overall experience 5.4 out of 10 and 5.4 out of 10 for Renegade. So the points were so close that the overall experience category didn't really even matter. So pretty much both rides would win this coaster fight, but Xcelerator won by 0.1 points. And the total points in total from the overall experience category would mean Xcelerator had 84.1 points and Renegade had 81.3. Really freaking close coaster fight, and Xcelerator wins by 0.1 points. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next coaster fight. And please suggest me coasters you want me to fight, and it has to be coasters that are in my realm. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.